Alright, so today I thought I would make a really short video talking about one of the most impactful stories I've ever read, and that is Dostoevsky's Krotkaya, which gets translated as The Meek One or A Gentle Creature. Now, the premise is we have an abusive husband who is responsible for his wife's suicide, and he starts telling his version of their romance while staring at her dead body laid out on a table. And the perspective, it's all from his point of view. Here are the opening lines. So long as she's here, everything is still all right. I go over and look every moment, but tomorrow she'll be taken away, and how am I to stay alone? She's in the big room now on a table. We put 2 card tables together, and the coffin will come tomorrow, a white one. But anyhow, it's not that. I keep pacing and want to figure it out for myself. It's already 6 hours now that I've been wanting to figure it out, and I simply can't collect my thoughts to a point. The thing is that I keep pacing. Here's how it was. I'll simply tell it in order. Order. Gentlemen, I'm far from being a writer, and you can see that, and let it be so, but I'll tell it as I understand it. There's my whole horror, that I understand everything. I mean, if that doesn't capture your attention, I honestly don't know what will. And it's quite a short story. It's only about 50 pages. You can read it in one sitting, which I highly recommend you do today. But it's worth noting that Dostoevsky includes a preface. He wants to explain to his readers why he chose to subtitle this story a fantastic story. So the fantastic genre, it's known for its supernatural elements, for things like monsters or ghosts, but what is actually unbelievable in this story is that this man, this accused husband, has even the time to tell his version of events, since he's obviously condemned to death for the murder of his wife. So that's what Dostoevsky says. He says that it's fantastic that a man condemned to death is able and has time to write notes not only on his last day, but even in his last hour and literally his last minutes. But had he not allowed this fantasy, the work itself would not exist, the most realistic and truthful of all he wrote. I find that line to be really powerful, that idea that for this protagonist, this is a realistic and truthful version of events. This is the truest thing that this character ever says in his whole miserable life. Now, similar to the structure of Crime and Punishment, the story opens with the crime, the murder, the suicide, whatever you want to call it. And the point is not to cover who did it, but rather why, and what was the motivation behind that. And the narrator's profession, he is a pawnbroker, just like Alyona Ivanovna in Crime and Punishment. And that's really crucial to his character because you get to see him enjoy wielding power over the desperate people who come to him for loans. And that's actually how he meets his bride. She only marries him because she has no other options, really. What I find so diabolical and sinister about this character is that he deliberately comports himself as though he was a good person, just to make it all the more painful for his bride when she finds out that he's not. He does this on purpose to kind of wield, or I guess elicit, that kind of shock from her. And this reminds me of Notes from Underground, how we have a character who is constantly wrapped up in these power dynamics, and everything he does is to elicit a response from others. So no matter what a miserable, lonely creature he is, he needs to be seen. He needs to be seen in a position of power. He needs to have the last word, the final say. Now, given Dostoevsky's established anti-Semitism, I don't think it's a huge stretch to say that the pawnbroker character is meant to be a Jew and to represent Jewish greed, Jewish evil. that sort of thing. If you are curious and want to read more, you can go check out Dostoevsky's article called The Jewish Question. And there's also been lots of scholarly literature written about his anti-Semitism. The fact that none of the characters have names is another clue that they're meant to be archetypes. What is not important is, how should I put it? It's as though Dostoevsky's saying, like, look, this could be anyone. This could be you, this could be me. We all have this capacity for cruelty, but also we all have experience with tragedy and with desperation and with feeling like you don't have a way out of things. Yeah. Some things that I want to keep or to draw your attention to while you read this story, hopefully this doesn't spoil anything. The revolver incident. I want you to think about why it's important and how it changes relations between the couple. I want you to think about why the pawnbroker is so horrified when his wife starts singing. Why does her singing frighten him? What, if anything, does the Meek one believe in? How does this sustain her? And lastly, do you think the pawnbroker actually accepts his role in his wife's death? Is redemption possible for him? Now, if you've watched some of my videos or read some of Dostoevsky's works, you should be pretty familiar with his religious beliefs and the kinds of philosophical worldviews that he's critical of. So you should be able to answer that. And once you finish reading, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know if other people find this story as impactful as I did. If you just think it's, downright depressing, that's okay too. But it really left a mark on me, and so I really wanted to share that with everybody. Like I said, it's only about 50 pages, so you can read it in one sitting, and I really hope that's what you choose to do with your day-to-day. Thanks again so much for watching, and take care.